All right, boys, we back with another one, and in today's video we're going to be showing you how to make these bad boys right here. For loads like this, that pipe ain't going nowhere. A lot of what I'm about to show you are trailers of guys who I've gotten to know over the last few months and who I've run some loads with. And I just want to state, I'm not criticizing their trailers at all. I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. We all have different experiences. We all do things different. I just wanted to look at their trailers and get an idea of how to do my trailer. Almost all these trailers when it comes to pipe stakes are different. So I just wanted to get that out there. I'm not bashing anybody's trailers. Let's just get that out there. Okay, so what exactly are pipe stakes? These right here are pipe stakes. And they go into these, which I believe are called your pocket holders. And what are they used for? They're used whenever you load up pipe. They're basically there as a precaution in case, like, say you have a strap that breaks and all of a sudden there goes the pipe. These are supposed to keep the pipe from like rolling off the trailer. They're also there for whenever the loader puts the pipe on the trailer and backs his blades out, the pipe can roll against these whenever he's pulling out. So if you have some pipe stakes that are, you know, just C-channel, which is what I used to use, a lot of times whenever they pull out, it bends real bad on that C-channel. Now I'm doing mine a little different than everybody else, although I have seen a few people doing it this way. But most people, they run the pipe stakes on the outside of the trailer. I'm doing mine on the inside. Reason for that is, you see how right there, it's a little bit too wide. Your trailer sits at the legal width, which is eight and a half feet, 102 inches. So when you add these, you know, it's adding another 3 or 4 inches to the overall width. And I know what they say, DOT isn't going to bother you about it. But trust me, guys, I have to live by another set of standards for some reason. Whenever I first started, the guy who got me into this, he told me, you'll never get a DOT inspection in the dark. What happens right off the bat, I get pulled over in the dark and I get a DOT inspection. The rest is history. It's just been like that since I started. If there's something wrong with the way I'm doing things, believe me, I'm going to get caught. So it's just the way it is, guys. I don't know why. Whatever you want to call it a curse, call it bad luck, whatever. So we're going to run them on the inside, that way we're not over width. But there's also another reason I'm not doing it that on the outside. This right here, it restricts the movement of your winches. And reason number 3, let's just say these look like, you know, they're not going anywhere, but you never know. Let's just say you're loaded up and these welds break. It's just going to go right over, and there goes your load. So this trailer right here is about the closest setup I could find to the way I'm doing it. Although I'm not going to cut on the rail. I'm not going to have this plate right here. And on here you can see it's cut out right here. We're not going to do that, but it is on the inside of the rail, and that's the way we're doing it. And like I was saying a while ago, let's just say, it doesn't look like it's going to happen on this trailer, but let's just say his weld's broke. He's got the added security of this plate that goes all the way around it. Instead of just on 3 sides, it's going all the way around it. Plus he's got this rail. I know it's aluminum, but it's thick metal. So let's just say, yeah, you know, theoretically the weld's busted. This ain't going nowhere. So we're back to my trailer. And you can see I'm pretty even with this trailer right here that's already got pipe stakes. You want to find out where exactly you want to put them on your trailer. You know, I've been running my pipe stakes, the C-channel ones, right here. But if you run your square tubing down here, it's going to run right into your landing gear. So you got to move it back a little, which is fine. We'll move it back right here. And you can measure, see where that's going to put you. 13 feet, that's perfect. So now let's do the back side. We've been doing the back side right here. You can see his is moved up a little more. And usually the back is going to be a little bit farther forward than the front And reason for that is because your pipe usually isn't going to be centered on the trailer. It's going to be forward just a little bit. Right there's about 15.5 feet. I think we're going to do right here though, I like that. This is going to be the brace that comes out from the trailer. And this is going to go on there. Of course, this is going to weld to it. And then we're going to bolt this to the trailer. I don't like welding stuff to the trailer. It's going to be something like that right there. And then this will represent the pocket stake. So I'm just kind of making sure everything is the right measurement. And it'll go right up there like that. So, looks pretty good to me. If you don't have a shop like I do, and the only outlet you have is the dryer outlet, and it doesn't match the welder, you can cut the end of that welder outlet, and you can splice in your own cord like I did, and then put a cord that will fit like a dryer outlet on the other end of it, which is this. That way you don't have to go and buy a $150 extension cord. See, I made an extension cord right here, but this is for 110, but I could have easily done a 220. So you can make your own cord, it's not that hard. Just get you the 3-strand wire, I believe it's 10 gauge. All right, so we're ready to start welding on this, and we got her all centered up, as you can see. Good on that end, that's good. Well, here's the finished product. I think my welds came out pretty good. We got them triple layered up, boys. We ain't playing with these welds. Well, we're finished up with those, and you can see this was the first one I did. This is second, third, and fourth, so you can kind of see as I was progressing that the welds got a little better, at least in my opinion. I was actually going around the corners, and I think I got pretty good coverage. So anyway, we gotta go to Tractor Supply now and get different rod size, because I'm using 1/8" rods. I gotta get 5 30-seconds now to weld on this 3/8" metal, and it's gonna get too hot because we gotta turn the amperage up. We were welding at about 105 a while ago on that metal out there, which is about 1/4 inch, but for 3/8 you're gonna want to turn it up to 120, maybe 135, we'll see. All right, so we got our 5 30-seconds rod here. These first passes, or first pass, I'm going to do with 1/8 inch, just so I can get good penetration, because the 5 30-seconds, it's not real good about getting in tighter spaces. So we'll just do the first pass with the 1/8 inch, and then the 5 30-seconds will be good for filling in the bigger areas for this size, which it recommends right here, 130 to 160 amps. So we're going to turn it up to 135. So there's how that first pass looks with the 1/8 inch rod, and you can see right there, still got a lot to fill in. We'll fill it in until it's flush. Well, we made one pass with that 5 30-seconds rod, and she filled it in quite a bit, but we still got a little bit to go. Those 6011 rods are messy. Well, we're pretty much through with the welding as far as this goes, and she got filled in pretty good, boys. And hell, I think those are pretty damn good welds. I mean, for me, for just some old farm kid, you know. But I'm gonna get an 8x8 inch plate. Crap, I just realized I ordered. Oh crap, I gotta make a phone call. All right, so we got our plates. Here's one of them, more 3/8 inch metal, 6 inch by 6 inch. My light went out, so I'm having to use this. Yeah, we're going for overkill, boys. That's not enough for me, because this is a high stress point. I'm going to put this on there, a little bit recessed like that on each side, and then we're going to cut out from there down that way and then back over this way. All right, so there's my marks. Now we got our grinder. Let's go ahead and make these cuts. So we got the plate cut, we got it clamped down. We're going to use that 5 30-seconds rod again. And sometimes welding on in a position like this, it's easier to get it tilted at an angle. That way you get a little better penetration. Now it's more of a V instead of an L. We finished one of the pipe stakes up, and man, that's a lot of welding. 3 more to go, boys. So now we're measuring for the 3/8 inch flat bar that's going across the trailer. We're measuring from frame rail to frame rail, which gives us a measurement of 97 5/8. And now we're underneath the trailer measuring back in, and also taking account for the winches because I want to be able to slide them, so we're leaving a little wiggle room there. And that came out to 4.5 inches that were taken off of that 97 5/8. Now we're on the other side of the trailer, and this is where I hook my straps, and I want to be able to slide them. I don't want the square tubing right up against the frame rail, so I give it a little wiggle room for it. Comes to 4 inches, which gives me a total measurement of 89 1/8, and that's outside to outside for the 4-inch square tubing. That's 3/8 inch wall. All right, so we're back at the house. Here's our flat bar right here, and we took a measurement a while ago. We're sitting right at 97 1/2. So now we need to figure out where our marks go on this. So we're sitting at 97 1/2. Outside to outside is 89 1/8, which is 1.25. Subtract those two. So that comes to 8.375. Then we're going to divide that by 2, and that'll give us how much we need to come over from the outside of the bar. And that comes to 4.1875, which in fraction form is 4 3/16. All right, we got our dimensions put out, and you know, to make these lines right here, you could just put your square right there. Right there's a 2-inch mark, and you can get you a little scribe, whatever you want to call it, chisel, and just slide it down as you move this. Sorry, I just got one hand. So anyway, I don't want the corner square because you can see this is pretty round, and I got to have a way to cut from corner to corner. I don't have a torch, so what we're going to do is drill holes on each corner. And I was going to use a drill bit, but as you can see, that's not a very good fit for that corner. So I got this hole saw, and that's pretty good. So we're going to do 4 holes there, and then we're going to cut in between those holes. One down, 15 more to go. Oh, that thing is hot. Well, we got 4 holes drilled, and we went ahead and put that piece on top of the other one, and we're just going to use this as a template, save a little bit of time. Well, we finished up the ends on both of these. We still got that to go over there, but I probably should have drawn, like put the 4x4 square tubing on the flat metal and drawn around it, because you can see I got some gaps. It's such thick metal that I can feel that, you know, but I want it to look better than that. So that's pretty square right there. Now all we gotta do is draw around it. Oh wow, that came out all at once. That's what she said. Well, that thing sucks. Much better. Why didn't I think of this in the first place? Hey, and I even changed out the hole saw on this one just to make it a little better. This is 1 1/4 inches. We're moving it up to 1.5 inches, and you can see, I mean, fits the corners a lot better than that one did. Well, we got 2 of them drilled, and yeah, they fit a lot better. Still got the gaps, but you know, you want a little bit of a gap when you're welding. Especially on thick metal, something to, you know, you have that gap, the welds can kind of fill that in. Well, we got them all cut. Now we need to put a little bit of a bevel on all 4 sides of each one of these. That way when we weld, it'll fill in. Because if you don't, it just sits up there like that. So you want the weld to fill in. Okay, I think that's pretty good. A little bit of a bevel in there. We'll fill that in with the weld. We're gonna weld the crap out of it, that's for sure. But we got her all leveled up, boys. All right, we got one weld around it. That's a half-ass looking weld, but we're gonna weld over it. That's with our 1/8 inch 6011 rod. We're gonna go over that with a 5/32 6011 rod. Turn this bad boy up to 135 like we did for those pipe stakes. And then we're gonna flip this around and weld on the top side. It's gonna be solid as hell, boys. All right, well, we got the bottom side of this done. Now we're on the top, and we just cut kind of a little valley all the way around that for that weld to fill into. Start out with, once again, the 1/8 inch, move up to the 5/32. So I'm just loading these bad boys up right here. Man, these suckers are heavy. My wife tried to help me with them, but I dropped my end, and then she had to drop hers, and she was in some pain after that, so I just did it all myself. But yeah, they are heavy. But right here, I'm just measuring for everything. And I just measured a 4" by 4" hole first, about right where they're going to go. And then I measured a little bit out from that, give it a little bit of wiggle room. And then plugged this into my little power inverter, which is awesome. I think I got that at Harbor Freight. So I'm just putting these in the holes that I cut right here, and I was kind of worried there for a second that it wasn't going to go, but got one side in, and then had to climb down and jiggle some stuff around, and boom, she went right in. It was really satisfying. So now I'm down here at my dad's finishing up the rest of what I couldn't do at the house, because where I live, they won't let you bring in, you know, a 48-foot trailer into the neighborhood. Fair enough, fair enough. You know, I can kind of see why that might be. But, yeah, so we had to drive down here. There he is right there. He's probably inside bothering my mom or something. I don't know. But, yep, just backed it up to the shop and got to work. All right, boys, we're down here at my old man's, and had to cut a little bit of this piece off to make it fit in there. We got a mark right there for our first hole in there, and we'll get a bolt put in there, and then we'll drill the rest. But she's coming along way slower than I thought, but that's how everything goes. Yeah. Well, we got one brace done. There it is. I'm not going to zoom in on my welds because they look pretty crappy. And we're moving the welder.
And don't zoom in on me. I taught him everything he doesn't know.
That's why my welds look so bad. So all in all, I am very satisfied with how these turned out. They are way stronger than C-channel pipe stakes. They don't even flex when you load up the pipe. And I can actually see in my mirrors because the pipe sits in a little bit now. The only disadvantage is that the pipe, it needs to be elevated a little bit so that the pipe isn't sitting on the bracing of the pipe stakes, which you can see right here. Well, I'm about to show right there. You don't want that. So all you got to do is get some 4x6s. In my case, I got a 4x4 and a 2x4 and screwed them together because I couldn't find 4x6s. It's an easy fix. So, yeah, here's me getting loaded up. Just wanted to thank my dad for helping me out with that. It was nice to be able to do a project with him again. I did a lot of stuff growing up with him, and I always enjoyed that stuff. You know, whatever it was, changing a belt on a hay baler, changing a wheel on a rake, blade on a disc, blades on the mower, wheel on the tractor, just on and on and on. It was just good to be able to do that again and give us senior citizens something to do for the day. Hey, I also have to mention the place I got all this metal from is called Metal Supermarket. They are in Oklahoma City, and I've been using them for the last probably 10, 11 years, and they always cut the metal right to whatever I tell them I need it cut at. They don't get the measurements wrong. That's one thing a lot of steel yards don't even do. They won't cut stuff to the lengths you need. You just get, you know, a 20-foot stick of whatever. So I like that about them. They've always done me right, so check them out. So I drew up some blueprints before I did all this work so I would know what measurements to make on this metal. So I'll show them right here, boys. Should work on most 48-foot flatbed trailers. Be sure to like, subscribe, share this video, or don't.